Today we are in Tbilisi, Georgia, and we are eating 6 traditional Georgian foods, which are Lobio,
pork Mtsvadi, potato and cheese Khinkali,
beef Khinkalis,
Algerian Kachapuri, Emiratian Kachapuri. Couple things that we have learned is that A, the Georgians love their like fresh vegetables. B, they love their dough. C, they love their cheese.
which is like right up our alley. Let's dig into this. Good morning and welcome to our last and final day here in Tbilisi, Georgia, and we could not be more sad about it. We saved the best for last. We are going to be walking all around Old Town to find the best Georgian traditional foods, and we are very hungry, so let's get started.
We are so excited to be eating all of the food here in Georgia because Georgians love their bread.
So our first stop today is called Shamoma Chama. The first thing we're eating today is called Mtsvadi. It's basically like a meat skewer and it looks absolutely delicious. But this area of Tbilisi is just so stunning.
The menu is so amazing. It says you are so full that you cannot eat anymore, but you are eating anyway because it's so delicious, which I love.
So the first dish we're trying today is Lobio, which is one of the traditional dishes here, and it's basically like a bean soup. If you're familiar with what refried beans are, it's a Mexican food. It looks very similar to that, but it's a very traditional dish to the Georgian countryside, which is why we wanted to get it, and not many places here have it, and this restaurant actually had 2 of the items that were on my list today, so we're gonna go ahead and try this one. Literally tastes like refried beans, just a lot soupier than refried beans because refried beans are not a soup.
Babe, is it super good? How many times have I made that joke in my life? Like a lot. The second dish that we got here is the pork Mtsvadi. The pork Mtsvadi is like a traditional, Mtsvadi in general is a traditional Georgian barbecue. And apparently, yesterday we spent the day in the Khinkali region drinking wine, which is the oldest wine region in the world. And apparently this dish is like very famous from that region. So essentially what it is just like a barbecue, and you can make it with lamb, pork, and we have heard that pork and beef mixed together is one of the more popular ways to eat it. And she brought some kind of like, it looks maybe like tomato sauce. So let me see. I don't know if you can see this. The juice is like dripping off of this, and you can taste it with the pork. Like it is so juicy. It tastes like just regular like barbecued pork. Like it doesn't like have a certain flavor to it, I guess. That's different than what I'm used to. But what it is just like very juicy.
Ah, that was so delicious. Honestly, not the cheapest place, but it was very, very good. But it was a great start and it was very delicious. But we need to get going to our next stop because we were there a little bit too long. But we're not far, so let's go.
Before we go to our next stop, the other day I ran and I came into this run club who brought me over to this like really cool area not far from here that we hadn't seen before, and we're very close, so I'm gonna take Nick because it is gorgeous. It's a love bridge.
Quick stop off for a waterfall break, but back to the food. But the next place we're going to is called Pictograma.
What a cute place, but we're like literally right by one of the major freeways in the city. This is really nice in here. It's actually one of our favorite things about Tbilisi is all of the amazing restaurants and like wine bars everywhere.
This is the Khinkali restaurant. I read that there are not many places in Tbilisi that still hand make the Khinkali, and this is one place that does it. Okay, so we just got our Khinkalis, and we got two kinds. We got one with potato and cheese, which is not super traditional, but the other one is beef, and Sam does not eat beef. A traditional one is typically lamb, or beef and pork together, or just beef. I'm gonna show you how to eat this because it's a really fun way of eating it. It's like a soup dumpling pierogi, which is like right up our alley. They have this knob on top, and you're supposed to pick the top up and then eat from the bottom, like take a bite out of it, suck the juice out, and then kind of eat it, and then you discard the knob. And I read that it's impolite to use a fork. We're gonna try these out because they look delicious.
Oh, it tastes like mashed potatoes in a really thick dumpling. I'm not a big potato person either, and that is, the cheese is like salty and sour in Georgia.
Oh. So I read how they get the juices is they boil the dumpling with the raw meat, so the fat and the juices from the meat is what gives it the broth inside. So it's just like pure fatty deliciousness in that first drink. But let's take a bite. It's like a dumpling meatloaf, but even more delicious than that because it's like you could taste the fresh herbs, not super salty like Sam's is. Can you see all those juices?
Well, that was a very great quick stop. I told Nick though that he's had to do a lot of the eating today and that we really need to wash it down with some wine. Doesn't that sound like a good idea to you? Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Break time is over, back to work. We have one place left, 2 foods and 1 dream to finish all of it. But we are about an 8-minute walk away, and this was the one I've been looking forward to because you see this food everywhere, just like the Khinkalis everywhere, like almost every restaurant sells it.
Our third and final stop for the day is Pasanori, which is, I guess, a chain in Tbilisi because we found that there were multiple of them. Specific food that you get here are 2 types of bread. The first bread is Emiryatin and the second bread is Algerian.
So the 2 types of bread that we order are for a very specific reason. So there's going to be 2 shapes, and the 2 shapes are one's going to be round and one is going to be shaped like a boat. So the round one is the more traditional one for this area, which usually it's like there's like cheese in the middle or cheese on top. Now the other one is going to look like the shape of a boat, which you'll see everywhere at every restaurant. And I read that it's from the coast where the Black Sea is, from the coast of Georgia down into Turkey. The people that are from that area actually invented that, and it's to symbolize the boat. And then on the inside there's usually like cheese, and then there's an egg in the middle, and the cheese is supposed to represent the sea and the egg is supposed to represent the sun. And apparently social media made that one more famous, so that's why we got both.
The first one is the Emiratian Kachapuri. It's exactly what it tastes like. Pizza dough, cheese, and butter. But remember I was saying the cheese here was a little saltier and a little like, not sour, but like just like saltier with like more like sour cream kind of flavors to it. So it's like extra salty, which I love salty food. So just know if you come to Georgia, expect some good salty food. It's so good.
I was saying, it's like the shape of a boat. Our yolk is broke. Typically, it's supposed to be like a sunny side up egg on top, but our yolk broke, but not the end of the world. It just means the sun is fading into the sunset as it is right now. So let's dig into this. Just gonna rip the end of the boat off, sink the ship, and start dipping into the sea. More butter and cheese. Not quite as sour as the other one, like the cheese, but the bread is so soft, like crunchy on the outside, really soft on the inside.
We good?
Oh, we did it! Feel victorious. I thought the food that we had today was fantastic, but it wasn't anything crazy different than what we have normally had. Now, if there's anything that we should have eaten or a place that we should have gone instead of somewhere where we went, because there's only so much on the internet I can read, let us know in the comments.
We think that Georgia is by far one of the greatest places that we've traveled to, and we cannot recommend it enough. So if you're trying to figure out where you should come travel, put Georgia on your list. Tomorrow we are heading to Croatia, and we have a 12-day camper van trip through Croatia, and we're like, cannot believe that that is actually going to be happening. We hope you enjoyed this Georgia series and this food video, and if you did, make sure you hit that subscribe button, follow us on our journey around this world, make sure you hit that like button, comment, do all the things, and until next time, we will see you on the go.
How do I look? Shimoma Chama?
Shimome Chama. First stop, our first stop is, should we just order? Okay. Yeah, literally everyone films you while you're eating, stares at you while you eat too.
And it's called Pictogramma. Whoa, that was like a little Latin there.
We started our day eating, what did we start with? Oh, the beans, what was it called?
Mtsvadi and Lobio.
One was the, what are they called? Algerian. Okay. And what was it? A beer? Oh yeah.